Hi, I'm Ferre. I'm here with Swenson. We're with Tax Sale Support, and this is our post-deal property review, where we go and review different properties that have sold at recent tax sale auctions. The properties we're going to be looking at here today, these are located in, this property is located in Wisconsin, an auction that just occurred here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, absolutely. This is looks like a pre-manufactured home on 1.5 acres. It has some outbuildings, and it ended up selling on for 59,500 back in 2024 auction.
Yeah, which really for a house here, with prefab home with basement, on an acre and a half, that's not bad. And we've got images of it as well, which is probably one of the handier things. It tells us exactly what the condition of the property is going to be, including a lot of exterior and interior photos as well. And so, things we can see here about the property, it from the outside, I think looking at it, we do have some nice shots. It looks like it was probably stained not too long ago. I mean, it could use a new paint job, but it looks like somebody at least kept up on it to some degree.
Yeah, we can see utilities there on the property still. So all of those are essentially a good sign. I mean, obviously it's going to need a little bit of fixing up, but that's where we're looking to the values, see a little bit more of the condition. But, even though it looks like it's probably been vacant for a little while, I think it's still salvageable as long as we're getting it at a good price.
Yeah, and we can also see that it's a pre-manufactured home, but it has a foundation that it's sitting on. That we can see there. That the arrow's pointing to. It's a cinder block style foundation, but still a foundation that gives the property a permanent place. Oh, I think I skipped one here. Oh no, I didn't skip one here. Just went through that too fast. Here's some interior images of the property, so we can see. Uh, Looking at it, it's not a new property. Certainly it's a house that was older. In fact, I didn't see the year that it was built, but we can see that stuff like the furnace is older, and electrical's older, but everything in the house is dry. The rooms are there. It would be a relatively simple house to fix up a bit.
Yeah, that's going to be the most important thing is we don't want a lot of water damage on the property. And that's one thing we can see even within the basement. We kind of combined some photos here, but you can see the basement floor was dry. Obviously, it's got junk in it. We're going to have to get that removed. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the process we go through to do that. But overall, we see a dry property. It's going to take some work. It's just really what that property is valued at will determine if it's going to be a good deal or not. We're probably going to come in and update the furnace, clear out all of that, add some paint and probably some new carpets and linoleum where needed. But I think this is a property where it's going to take a little bit of work, but it probably could be done for maybe 10, 20 cents of the percentage of the property's value, giving you plenty to go in there and rehab it.
Yeah, it also has additional buildings that are, a part of it. So this is a separate outbuilding, a garage probably, or kind of a shop here. We can look. I think we can kind of see some images there. They had some interior images on it, but it has power going out there to it, and it looks like there's a pad there as well for like a merry-go-round. I think is what that would be for.
Yeah, exactly. It's got power to it. Overall, it's on a pretty good lot. We can see that there's some, homes within the area. Looks like there's kind of a stream close by. More rural property, but overall, nice lot. And really, it's got quite a big lot if you look at it compared to the property itself.
Well, and it's rural, but it's not so rural that it's stuff far away from neighbors. I mean, they've got properties right next to them and across the street, and they've got what looks like the river, right there next to, the road there. It looks like kind of a nice spot. They live right there by that T intersection for that highway, just off of that main highway there, which looks like a pretty nice place. It's a pretty desirable property. That's nice. And so it started also at $100, with the final winning bid here of 59,000, with an estimated value of 191 that we can see here in the Zillow estimate. Basically showing that it was picked up for about a third of value, roughly.
Yeah, exactly. That's really going to be key in any type of property like this. And the reason we're willing to pay a little bit higher is because we can determine what we need in the condition. The fact that we know, okay, we need a furnace, but we don't have major water damage. We don't have sheetrock that we're going to have to tear all out. Most of it we're probably just going to be able to repaint. So that additional information gives us more ability or more comfort in investing a little bit higher price, just because that's part of it.
Yeah, I think it's nice when you can see everything about the property so that you can make good decisions on it. And if you're into a property, even if it's improved at 30%, you're still at a low enough percentage value there that you have room to move if something else were to come up. The property doesn't look like it's going to need that much work though. Like Steve was saying, most of the things will be fairly straightforward, like getting a new furnace. And so that's what a lot of the work will entail, and probably some landscaping and a few other things besides that. And the property would be very attractive to locals there, and probably wouldn't have a hard time getting picked up or getting filled up. So yeah, I think the price is such a good point that it's hard to go wrong when you pay 30% of value, on a property that is in good condition. You know, um, the value of this property also puts it up there in an area where you could pay a higher percentage of value, but paying a lower percentage of value puts you in way better position. I mean, if you paid 50% instead of 30%, then it would be way more questionable.
Exactly. That's, we would put our value about 30 cents on the dollar for this property. That's what they ended up paying. And we know we're going to need to remove the trash. We're going to have to, contact the previous property owner. It doesn't look like that stuff has a whole lot of value, but we're still going to go through the process of send out a certified letter, depending on the state, give the owner a time frame, generally between 14 to 30 days to remove the property, the personal property from the deed, from the home. At that point, if they haven't done that, then we can dispose of it as needed. A lot of that stuff may be going to the trash. Maybe we're sending some to Goodwill, something like that. But really, if we were to put in 30 grand in this property, we're still going to be able to do 100 grand in turnaround and selling this property. And one thing about it is the properties next to it are valued higher. So, I'd rather be the cheaper property surrounded by more expensive property than the most expensive property surrounded by cheaper property.
Yeah, really, it puts you in a strong position with this property because, if you did fix it up nice enough, it has the ability to grow in value, because the properties around it have higher values, so if you can make it more attractive, we could do anything there to make it more appealing, through a rehab, that value might be up there. And for only needing to put that much money into it, it really does have pretty good value. 60,000 is not a lot to pay for a property that nice.
No, overall, a pretty good deal. Check us out on the next deal of the day, deal of the week.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching.